So for publishers, is the content becoming secondary and the subscription is actually based around, let's say, maybe things like implementation or product or stuff that's, let's say, complementary or secondary to the content itself, and therefore justifying maybe, say, a higher subscription fee or even a membership fee at all?
It's a really tricky one because ultimately what this comes down to is what people are buying into. And there have been a lot of people thinking, well, if I add all of these bells and whistles, people are more likely to stay.
Mm.
But if it's not relevant and it's not appropriate to your customers' needs, is that going to make a difference, or is that just going to cost you loads of money to implement?
Right.
At the PPA Festival this year, I don't know if you saw Tom Armstrong from New York Times speak.
Sadly, I couldn't attend
was,
this year. So please fill me in and fill in anybody else who was unlucky enough.
He was great. And one of the interesting things is that ultimately, New York Times mission is news. It's all about news. Ultimately, it's about bringing people so that they can get that news content that they value, that they see. However, there's lots of graphs out there about the Trump bump. There's lots of graphs out there about what's happening now with New York Times, which is that recipes are increasing their subscription volume. So that's a big part of it. But equally, the growth that they've had is all about puzzles.
Mm.
And that, I don't know about you, but I was out with someone last night who was on some kind of 100-day Wordle streak. And it's a relationship thing with friends, you know. So not only is the publisher encouraging people to come to them to do the puzzles, probably then reading content, but also they're finding these extra sticky things. And there's been some really amazing work done. And I know the team over at News UK are looking at this as well. Is it about people reading extra content? Is it about them engaging with podcasts? Is it about commenting below the line? Is it about doing puzzles within a week of starting their subscription? What are the habits that people who are going to stay with you for ages have? Wall Street Journal did Project Habit, must be a couple of years ago now. They did a really similar thing. Look at your existing subscribers who are sticky and staying with you, and what are those habits? And how can you encourage people who are in that onboarding part of their subscription to go, okay, if I'm doing this, how do I encourage myself and encourage these people to keep engaging? If you do a puzzle within 7 days or something of subscribing, you're more likely to still be subscribing in a year's time. And there's some, wonderful pieces of analysis starting to happen with that and tying all of those things through. There is a habit of publishers to go, we need to add more, which maybe is actually, hang on, just remember the value you are delivering. Check that you're delivering it in the way that your customers want, and then work out what else you can add in to make that valuable, because ultimately it's got to wash its face. I remember there was a phase probably 15, 20 years ago where we were all adding like loyalty clubs. And as far as I saw most of the analysis, it wasn't that the loyalty club was encouraging people to renew. People who were engaged with the brand would engage with whatever offers that loyalty club gave. But if you took it away, your churn went up. So it's really difficult trying to work out what the right way of doing that is. And a lot of B2B publishers are doing this really well because they're developing these data products, which people can then take into their day-to-day work and make them a part of their practice. And that's really amazing because it's not just I'm coming to this B2B publisher to get information about my profession. They are becoming a supplier of information for people to do their jobs and actively engaging with that data. So it's ultimately it's about, it goes back to my first point, which is about understanding your audience. And the only way you're really going to do that is to get in the room with them and talk to them.